Hey, my mates. Yeah, hope you had a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed it. Really good second round. Well done. Still, obviously, a little bit more than we wanted, but course conditions and obviously confidence a little bit low after round one. Okay, actually very happy with that. With medal golf tournament setup. Okay, where we at? All right, so that's kind of worth about an 82-ish. All right, so we're pretty happy with that, right? But we keep pushing for our 79. So obviously, drive a little bit of an issue. Building those instincts. Okay, so how do we get ourselves in trouble and just recognize that there's about to be a big number coming here? Let me get myself out of this trouble as safely and quickly as possible, even if it means I'm working hard for a bogey. In the long term, it's better. But those instincts develop the more and more you play, right? And obviously, we know those instincts out of the waste areas and tricky and side hills and deep rough and where they're not quite there yet, figuring out, not figuring out, but just thinking about the lie and the ground conditions and the angle of attack and what club I've got, etc. But that's a big part of our next bit of work, okay, is building those instincts, right? And then obviously getting comfortable with this new driver setup so we don't spray a few. Okay, right, so swing's looking good. We know not as long as we've got to continuously get that backswing a little more upright, downswing a little bit deeper and closer. Good sequencing, good posture. We keep pushing with that. And then a bit of putting and short game. Right. So I start with putting. I just want you to do this 3-putt avoidance drill. Okay, very cool drill to do. Just one ball. The putting green, one ball. Okay, it's really cool. You just start off at like 5 yards. Okay, and you just putt at a target. Okay, and basically the idea is you're trying to avoid 3-putting. Okay, so obviously one putting is the easiest or best way to avoid that. Okay, but then obviously when you miss it, you have to now hold the second putt. Okay, so you've got to be mindful of your read and your speed control of your first putt. Hopefully there'll be some tap-ins involved, but when they're not, read, routine, alignment, and strike on those short putts. And then basically once you do 5 yards, that's a pass. Okay, you go from the hole that you're at, okay, to another hole 6 yards away. So you might have to measure it out or pace it out a little bit, but you go to a different hole, different target, 6 yards. Okay, so 18 foot. All right. If you 2-putt or 1-putt that, then you go up again, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You see how far you can go. As soon as you 3-putt, fail, back to 5 yards, 15 foot. Okay, and you just keep going. Right, just keep going with that drill, and then just keep tracking how far your longest streak is. All right. Okay, and then the second part, again, we're going to do the high-low wedges. I don't think you've done them yet. Okay, but high-low wedges. Okay, that's with your lob wedge, basically. So low, nice square face, a little closer to the ball. Ball just back of center. It's close to the right foot, but only because the stance is so narrow, right? Okay, so there's your little low one. Okay, still using the shoulders and everything, but he's a little more up and down. Okay, a little more abbreviated follow through. Okay, I've got an 8 iron, so it's very low. But that with a lob wedge will just be like a little chasey with a little bit of check spin. And then your high one, slightly wider, ball just forward of center, a little further from the ball, a little bit open with the left hand grip. Okay, and then we just get a little bit of right hand involved, a little bit of soft load and soft release. Okay, very little acceleration, but just a touch of hand action. Okay, that's your high-low, obviously, relative to the club you've got. Okay, so just do a few of those, maybe 10 of each or something like that, right? So that's the warm-up, right? Okay, then into our swing work. All right, first draw is loop-to-loop. We're keeping loop-to-loop. Not too worried about sequencing an opposite direction this week. Okay, so all about the loop-to-loop. Okay, up. Alrighty. And then second bit of our work is completely driver work. All right, so we've got to get comfortable with. Okay, got to get comfortable with separating the elbows, the forearms. Okay, don't get them too close. Separate those elbows a little bit. Okay, keep a nice triangle here. Okay, closer to the ball, a little bit wider in the stance. All right, and then we focus on with the driver, getting comfortable with that setup. Okay, but we focus on the driver, just not getting too sloppy and active in these knees. Okay, so nice, big, strong setup, and then in the swing, Try and feel like those knees are staying nice and quiet. Yes, the hip is working from the top, but the knees are staying quiet. None of this with the knees. Okay, so legs, knees, or feet and knees, if I can say that. Nice and strong. Okay, you can still fire that left hip quite comfortably, but I'm not too worried about that this week. Okay, worried about starting to develop that short game better because that's going to help our instincts. A little bit of putting, and then obviously getting comfortable with this driver. Alrighty. Thank you, my mates. Have a good week. Videos, please. Obviously take some rest first from Club Champs. And I'll talk to you during the week. Thanks, my mates.